what are the products which are coming out of our universities and colleges? Are they employable? What is the product? Is they matching what the industry needs? Strangely, when we look at the educated unemployed in India is much more than the uneducated unemployed. And what do the engineers come out and do? Do they get the particular opportunity? Are they matched? Unfortunately, very few educational institutions or institutions of higher learning have got, unlike many parts of the West, have interactions between industry and the educational institutions. So if we need to move forward, we need to come down and create a job force or outputs which are coming, which are not only India focused, but I would say globally focused. Yesterday, they brought out something called GPT 4.0. Now, if you have not seen it, I think you need to see, because this is a tectonic shift in the world. I would say something which as much as the wheels being invented or the fire being invented is what is happening with the development which took place and which was brought out into the market yesterday. Some basic statistics I think all of us should know, as all of us know, but I think I need to highlight this. We have the largest population in the world. And secondly, more than 50% of our population is less than 25. And then, which means that we need to create a huge number of jobs. And that is the crisis which we are having in this country. And at the same time, we are finding something else. What are the products which are coming out of our universities and colleges? Are they employable? What is the product? Is they matching what the industry needs? This is a big challenge. Now, strangely, when we look at the educated unemployed in India is much more than the uneducated unemployed. That is a big thing. So we all go into education thinking that we get employed. And the situation is that it is not happening. And this year, I would say, we saw many shocking news which came about. We knew certain things were happening. Many times we used to hear IT companies who used to come and say many people were not employable. So you have companies like Infosys and TCS, etc., taking people who are out of the college and then retraining them, there. So that is one part. So they understood and they did something. But when we had this year to say 60% of the engineers are unemployable, we had 36% of IIT employees and the graduates not getting placed. They are the top. And to strangely me, I come from BITS Pilani, and it's more than 50 years since I passed out. And I get a call from the Dean of Alumni Relations this year asking me whether I could help out in the placement of students now. This never happened. So what is really happening is something quite, I would say, a tectonic shift, which is happening in this world. Now, what is happening in the world? Yes, I think we all should understand, educationalists also should understand. Well, you have talked about digital, good things about digital, but many things, disruptions are taking place in the industry. Automation is coming in, taking out jobs. You have many jobs which were earlier grunt work, the kind of things which people used to be back office work, all these are slowly moving away. And things are changing. And India is in a very, very difficult spot if we don't change fast. While the talk about molting, etc., is there, but I think we have one way is to come and get into the painful process of molting. The other way is to come down and think smart and say, what do we do with the limitations and advantages which we have, and see how we can take this forward. Now, when there are studies which were done to say why people were unemployed, there were many reasons were put up, and 5 basic reasons were say, okay, one is the first thing is that we have a huge population. So definitely more unemployed people would be there. 50% of our population is in the working stage. So definitely we have. The other thing which is there, which is today's main subject, maybe the 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 low institution university standard. That means there is an outdated curriculum. The teaching methods are not being updated to what is needed. And the basic infrastructure, it is there, but is far from what is necessary. So that's another reason by which we have people coming out. Then we have a lopsided type of education coming up, engineering education. I got some statistics from 1996 and then to 2017. I was told that, or from what I read in 1996, there were only 337 engineering colleges. And then there's an exponential growth in the 2016, 17, it came down to 6,700, 6,500 exponentially. Now I would say it would be more than 10,000. And they are all producing engineers. And what do the engineers come out and do? Do they get the particular opportunity? Are they matched? Unfortunately, very few educational institutions or institutions of higher learning have got, unlike many parts of the West, have interactions between industry and the educational institutions. So there's a big mismatch of what is needed in the industry and what is coming out. But one good thing about Indians are they are adaptable. And what happens is that when we come out, we don't have a big ego. We adapt and finally we find our spot somewhere. And we don't find a job here, we go somewhere else and we adjust. So that's some good parts of our Indian mentality. But there is also the problem in terms of our education system and overall policy matters, which requires this thing. So we have something good, something bad. Then that is one of the main reasons by which there's a mismatch between the requirements in the industry and what is produced. Now coming down to the other side, I'm trying to look at something positive out of all these things and what can we really do about it. In fact, there's no point crying every day and saying that, okay, we have a bad this and bad that and that. Let's understand one thing. Yes, we have a demographic dividend. 50% of our population is less than 25. Well, that is something which is great. We need to use this particular skill to use these particular people to come down and maybe fill up the jobs worldwide, wherein they've got many advanced populations having lower birth rates, and they have people coming into the area, skilled areas are less. So we need to develop our children now, not just for India. India alone may not come down and produce, because the various things which are happening, the quantity of jobs which may be produced in the industry may not be sufficient to match the kind of people coming into the workforce in India. We are talking in terms of just some studies where more than 70 million jobs have to be created just to, come down and take care of what the people require the jobs. So if we need to move forward, we need to come down and create a job force or outputs which are coming, which are not only India focused, but I would say globally focused. Today, if you come down in Japan has got a whole lot of people who are very old. You see Germany, you see America, all these places are having places where they require people. And one good thing is that with our English skills and many other things which we are coming down, we can be a global workforce. And so our education system should adapt to this particular thing to take this forward. And I would say some of the things which we have done in the recent past is helping us do that. Today, we have one of the best digital systems going on. So digital connectivity, we have the lowest internet cost in the world. So what you are finding in all over the world is that you will be able to connect even the lowest of villages at the fraction of our cost. So connectivity is something. So we can leapfrog into the future. We don't have to go step by step where many other countries had to go through. Our digital jump is huge. So we moved from possibly something like a Middle Ages to right to the rocket age. So we have done that. And our youngsters are slowly adjusting to that. So we need to use that. I don't know if anybody saw yesterday's presentation by Sam Altman. I don't know whether, I think it's a technology. I think people know about the AI, and one of the biggest companies in the world is OpenAI. Yesterday, they brought out something called GPT 4.0. Now, if you have not seen it, I think you need to see, because this is a tectonic shift in the world. I would say as much as I would say something which as much as the wheels being invented or the fire being invented is what is happening with the development which took place and which is brought out into the market yesterday. They brought out artificial intelligence which can seamlessly integrate video, audio, and text. Seamlessly integrate. You can talk to it and they'll reply to you. They can be used in teaching. Now, today we feel the big challenge. I can understand from the educational, the big challenge many of you have told in terms of curriculum, other people have told in terms of salaries, in terms of timing, in terms of these things. Now, with the kind of requirement, we may not be able to suddenly, even if all the molting which we do, we won't be able to come down and do it in an organic manner. We need to jump. So the need to use the current AI, basically OpenAI, now it's available. You should see some of the things that it can do in terms of teaching. It can teach very nicely. It can adapt and teach. I think it's important for you to have a look. It can interact. So many of the kind of
Philip, could
jobs
you
which
summarize, because you're
okay, fine. All I wanted to tell you is that I'll come to that, and I'm taking a little longer time, but all I wanted to say is that there is a lot of things happening. We need not molt and be painful. We can be smart and take advantage and move forward if we are using our heads and using our intellect. That's what I wanted to say. So it's not all doom and gloom. There's a lot of things which can happen.